or Wednesday, and I'm driving from Bay St. Louis, Mississippi to Montgomery, Alabama. Again, not sure what the date is, but I've seen a lot. Specifically, I've seen a lot of Hall of Fames. A lot of Hall of Fames. The first one was in Saratoga Springs, where there's a horse Hall of Fame. That might not be what it was called, but maybe a horse running Hall of Fame? I don't know. But outside it was a statue of Seabiscuit. And it commended Seabiscuit's athleticism and knowledge of the game, which is strange because I don't know the story and I haven't seen the movie with Tobey Maguire, but I feel like a horse just instinctively runs in a circle, and Seabiscuit just happened to do it really fast. Anyway, that's the first Hall of Fame. The second Hall of Fame was in Cooperstown, where baseball is. When I got there were a ton of kids, so I left. The next Hall of Fame was Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. That was that was okay, I guess, architecture wise. After that was on my way out of Ohio into West Virginia was the Pro Football Hall of Fame, because I guess they had to differentiate pro and amateur football. And again, I wasn't sure why the Hall of Fame was in Canton, Ohio, but the place explains why. After that was the Country Music Hall of Fame. No, the NASCAR Hall of Fame in Charlotte, North Carolina. The area had a lot of checkered things. The building itself was loopy, like a car track, like a horse track. No one really commended the car on being good, but whatever. After that, somewhere between all of that was the Boxing Hall of Fame, which was off a highway inside of what looked like a one-bedroom, one-story garage. That was the Boxing Hall of Fame. I sidestepped that one. The Country Music Hall of Fame in Nashville. That was another Hall of Fame. After that, coming out of Alabama was the Alabama Musician Hall of Fame. So there's a Hall of Fame dedicated only to musicians from Alabama, which seems kind of unnecessary, but because you already have your other music Hall of Fames. But this brings up my next point. Is there a Hip Hop Hall of Fame? Because I think there should be. I feel like hip hop's been around long enough that we should start recognizing different hip hop and rap artists. DJ Jazzy Jeff, Will Smith, Run DMC, of course. Maybe Eminem. And if the Country Music Hall of Fame is in Nashville, and if Cleveland has the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, then I think the logical choice for the Hip Hop Hall of Fame Hip Hop Hall of Fame should be in Brooklyn or New York City. And maybe there should be themed restaurants, like how there's a Hard Rock Cafe in Margaritaville. There should be maybe Jay-Z should quit the sports agent business and go into the food and hospitality restaurant management business and open up some restaurant chains. Would that be too controversial? I don't know. Because if America's complaining about TV ads that have a biracial couple with a biracial child, they might not be too happy about a hip hop themed restaurant chain, because they're terrible people. And is there there has to be an architecture hall of fame, right? I mean, if there's an Alabama musicians hall of fame, there has to be an architecture hall of fame. And if there is, then I hope Frank Lloyd Wright designed that building, because that would be the only, well, there's definitely more architects than Frank Lloyd Wright, of course, but I mean, if it's a Hall of Fame, it has to be a pretty good looking hall. It can't be a one room garage to honor our past boxers. That's for sure. Or maybe there's a Hall of Fame. Hall's Hall of Fame, where it showcases the best halls. It's kind of like an advertising. There's an award show there's so many award shows that you don't need that many award shows. It's just a thing to help people feel good about their life decisions. And so we give out all these awards. We don't need them. It's like we don't need this. All these Hall of Fames. I don't think we need that many Hall of Fames. I think at the very least we should have a good person Hall of Fame. Who's done pretty good. Who's done good for this world. We should have a Hall of Fame for that. But again, that'd be controversial. The same people who complain about biracial ads and the impending Jay-Z themed restaurant called Hova Lane. Well, I don't know. They'll probably complain about this little Hall of Fame too. We'll see. Maybe that would be my next project, a Hall of Fame.